This is an unbelievable story. Believe me, an unbelievable story. My little boy's in the academy at Chelsea. You know, I see the academy stuff now. That is phenomenal. For that kid to get into Arsenal, who's like a Rolls Royce of a football club, a massive football club, at 16 years of age and playing goal for Arsenal, I just can't explain how big that is. How big that is. You know, goalkeepers, you usually become a better goalkeeper at 25, 26, 27, and the older you get. This kid to be in there at 16, honestly, fair play to him. He takes a lot of credit for the hard work he's done. And fair play to Arsenal for giving him that belief. But that is very rare. I don't think that probably happens too often in football. A 16-year-old makes their debut for a big football club in goal, which is, wow. Honestly, I can't express how much effort and hard work and how talented this kid must be to be playing in goal at 16.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure he's very proud himself, as I'm sure Arsenal are of so much youth that they've got at the moment. Another youngster we want to shine a spotlight on, Ethan Nwaneri. I mean, he scored twice. He's had a couple of cameo appearances so far this season as well. But could this be, I guess, the making of him?
He's a good player. The problem is it's so hard. It's hard to go and play for Arsenal on a consistent basis, especially nowadays when you can go and get anybody from around the world. You know, for this kid to be playing and these kids to get given an opportunity, you know, and fair play to Arsenal for giving the opportunity. But at the same time, they're coming into a good football team. They're coming in playing with good players that are full of confidence. You know, your Declan Rices are playing. That helps. Sometimes you find that kids get thrown in when the team's struggling and players are struggling, and then it's hard for them because then you're looking, you think, I've got to rely on the experienced players, and the experienced players are not playing well at the time, so they've got to look after themselves. It's clever the way Arsenal are doing it. They're putting these kids in just at the right time when the team are flying, players around them are full of confidence. But you still got to get on that pitch in front of 60,000 and perform, and fair play to Arsenal and fair play to him. You hear the whispers, the kid's a special player. He's just got given the chance on a consistent basis, but he needs to be patient. He needs to be patient because he is at one of the best clubs in the world, in my opinion. So he needs to be patient.
We've been patiently waiting, haven't we, for Raheem Sterling to finally get a goal for Arsenal, which he did since his move from Chelsea. What have you made of him so far?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be over the season. I thought it was a good signing. He didn't get on the other night. I thought that at Man City, I thought that was a little bit worrying. I thought, probably Arteta didn't trust him as much as Jesus, but he's a top player. Again, I like them goals. When people are in the 6-yard box and they tap it in, people go, oh, I could have scored that. Well, you couldn't have because you're not in there. You have to get in there. And they're the goals. You're going to score more of them than not. And that's where Sterling got a lot of goals for Man City, is getting in the 6-yard box. He does get in there, and I'm a big fan of Raheem Sterling's. I was shocked Chelsea let him go. I really was. He was better than some of the wingers at Chelsea, or he was definitely better than one of them. So for me, I was shocked that Chelsea let him go.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll go on from there and score a few more and enjoy his time at Arsenal. We loved, of course, the City-Arsenal match-up at the weekend, but goodness me, huge blow for them, isn't it, with Rodri with this knee ligament injury. Now, we know it requires surgery. He's going to be out for an extended period. Just how big a blow is that for City? Yes, they've got this huge squad, but he's so key for them, isn't he?
Oh, 100%. It's a massive loss. For over the season, I mean, we could say if Ireland got injured for a couple of weeks, they could probably get by with that. This man knits everything together. For all the top draw players that they've got, he knits it all together. He's the main man, in my opinion. He's the one player in the whole world that gets into every team in the world. He gets into, there's not one football team that he doesn't get into. I don't know another player in the world that we could say about but him. And he is a massive miss. He might not be missed over the next 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 games, but as the season revolves and we get into the new year, he will be missed at times. There's no doubt. And he gets important goals as well. We've seen that in the Champions League final. This man is phenomenal footballer. And you know, that was the major blow for Man City the other day. Major blow. And for him himself, you know, as I say, he's a special player.
It does, though. Do you think it changes the way you maybe look at the title race, taking him out and possibly tipping the favour in you know, towards Arsenal now?
I think it brings Arsenal closer to Man City. I think Man City were a little bit ahead of them. I think now, as the season revolves and we get into the new year and without no Rodri, I do think just Man City, because I think they just got a bigger squad and they've got better players all round with squad players. But it's not far off a heads or tails. It's not far off a heads or tails now. I mean, the one thing we all miss about last weekend, and then the melee and the time wasting and the sending off and the last minute goal, we've got to remember Arsenal were 1-0 down and were 2-1 up at half time. Everyone forgets that. You know, Arsenal turned that round 3, 4, 5 years ago. Arsenal are getting beat 3 and 4. They're getting destroyed, absolutely destroyed. This year, different team, completely different team. And I can't remember, you know, off the top of my head, it might have happened a couple of weeks ago, I can't remember. But I can't remember the last time Man City were 1-0 up and 2-1 down at half-time at the Etihad. Can't remember it. You know, I can't remember it. And for me, that's the one thing we miss, the fight back by Arsenal. To turn that around, that just shows you how far Arsenal have come, and they are majorly in this title race.
Just finally on this, plenty said about the way that Arsenal, I guess, went about the game at the weekend. Dark arts has been mentioned. How do you see it?
I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go down to 10 men. We'll open the game up. We'll get our bellies tickled and we'll get beat 6-2 by Man City. Everything will go away. Pep Guardiola will come on the telly and he'll go, I love Arteta. I love the way he opens the game up and he has a go. No, Arsenal are phenomenal. Bar a last-minute goal, never really looked like scoring. They were void of ideas, Man City, that shocked me more than anything. You got them things have been going on since I was playing. You know, I remember George Graham years ago. We used to play Wimbledon, and Wimbledon liked to roll the ball out. The goalie would roll the ball out as far as he could, and he'd smash it to fashion you, and they'd all melee round it, be on the edge of the box. So George Graham used to say, go and close the goalkeeper down. When they all push on the halfway line, then just run over to the corner flag. And when the ball gets headed back out, you'll be offside and they'll get a free kick in the corner flag. And that's what we were doing. That was 30 odd years ago. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. Probably not as bad as that, Hayley, but that's what it was like for us. We used to do.
The good old days, Paul, the good old days.
Yeah, and then George Graham would say, go down. You know, you'd be under pressure, go down, kill the game, kill the game, get the fans quiet. You know, if a team were putting us under pressure. And in them days, you know, you didn't have to go off for 5 seconds or 10 seconds. So, yeah, it's been going on for years, absolutely years.